Hey, friends, this is Matt down here in the Seacrest studio, and you are tuned in for another special edition of Maya's latest news to keep you in the groove. And Maya, you have a special guest with you today, is that correct?
Yes.
Who is on the line with us?
Paris Berelc.
Oh, Paris Berelc! The crowd goes wild! Well, Paris, thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to turn it over to my friend Maya, and I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for calling in. And like I said earlier, you have been a dream interview of mine for a really long time. So it means so much to me to be talking with you right now.
Oh, you are so sweet and so awesome. And I am the one who is honored to be interviewed by you. So I am very excited to be here.
So my first question for you is, who or what inspired you to become an actress?
I would say Angelina Jolie is actually my idol. I always loved her movies because I thought she was so cool, and I always thought she was such a great actress. And, I thought it was cool. She did her own stunts. And then on top of that, she's also an ambassador for a lot of different organizations, and she has a family and she's adopted children. So she's just done a lot of things other than acting that I think are very meaningful. And how she handled her career really inspired me. And that's, I guess, the person that really made me want to be an actress.
Oh, cool. So you played Skylar Storm in Mighty Med, which is it was one of my favorite shows. And I also loved Lab Rats Elite Force, and I was so sad when both of those went off the air.
I was too.
And I was wondering what your favorite part about playing Skylar Storm was.
So Skylar Storm was my favorite character that I ever played on TV. That was my first job. I was 14 years old when I booked it. And it was, my first job. It was a Disney show. And it was literally like a dream come true. But what I really loved about that show was because I was a gymnast for 10 years. So I was able to bring my gymnastics background onto the camera, and I got to do my own stunts. So a lot of the fight scenes and flipping and all of that is actually me doing it because they let me. So that was my favorite part, is I got to live my dream with acting, but then also continue my dream, which was one of them was gymnastics. I got to do fight scenes all the time and look super cool.
Oh, that's so cool. So both shows were so funny. And did you ever have to do multiple takes of scenes because you would break character laughing?
Yes, me, Jake, and Bradley had to retake a lot of scenes. We all had so much fun together, and we joked around all the time. And it was one of those things where when one person starts laughing, then the other person does, and then the other person does, and it's a chain, and none of us can stop. But we had so much fun, and we also did a lot of takes because they would come in with new lines all the time. So they would literally feed us new lines and we would redo the whole thing. There was like one or two times where they came with a whole new scene. Like, all right, this is a whole new scene that we need to do really quick, really fast. So, but that's the fun thing about sitcoms is, you get to do it so many different times and try so many different jokes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. So you played Alexa Mendoza in another one of my favorite shows, Alexa and Katie. And this show has just helped me through so much, and I rewatch it all the time, especially when I'm nervous for an upcoming appointment. And even though my experience has been completely different than Alexa's, there's never been a character that I've related to so much. And so, first of all, I just want to say thank you for that. And yeah, this show just means the world to me. And I was wondering, what did it mean to you to be a part of this show?
So, well, first of all, thank you for saying that, because that really touches me. I actually started tearing up a little bit when you were saying all that, because Alexa and Katie is my favorite show that I've ever worked on in my career. It's the project that I'm the most proud of, and it is the one that I really never wanted to end. I was very distraught when we finished that show, because it meant so much to me. And it still means a lot to me because I see how many people still watch it and how much it means to other people. And I'll get messages a lot when if it's a family and one of their children is going through treatment for something. They'll message me and say, my daughter's watching it on the screen right now in the hospital, and it helps her, it makes her laugh. So that is the most rewarding and meaningful thing to me, because when people are going through something traumatic, they're still watching my show and they're still laughing, and it still makes them smile. So that's more than I could ever want in my career, is just to make people feel something and make them feel better, or make them laugh, or make them smile. So Alexa and Katie is definitely the one that has touched a lot of people, and we all worked so hard to make that show great. We did so much research, and as a cast, we worked so well together, and we even got to bring families on who were either going through treatment or they were in remission. And, seeing their face at a live audience, see their face light up, just, I don't know. I don't think I will ever feel something as touching like that again, with anything I do for the rest of my career. So Alexa and Katie will always have a special place in my heart.
That's amazing. So did you do any special research to understand having cancer?
Yeah, so we did a lot of research because we wanted to be as accurate and respectful as possible. And before we started shooting our season 1, we actually went to the Children's Hospital in LA, and we met a girl named Katie, and she was a teenager. And she's in high school. She was in high school at the time. And she was telling us about her experiences, going through treatment, and then also being in high school, and then also, playing sports, and then going to prom. She has a boyfriend. So it was interesting hearing her perspective, and it definitely gave us a lot of insight. And then there is an episode where she makes a cameo. I can't remember what episode it is. I'll have to look through and see which one, but she does make a cameo in the show. But yeah, we wanted to be as respectful and accurate as possible. So we definitely did our research, and our creator did a wonderful job giving us the tools and resources to do the proper research. So she was definitely someone who cared about making an authentic and meaningful story.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and that's so cool that she made a cameo.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was awesome. And it was a full circle thing too, because it was we met her and right before we started filming the show, and then in the middle of filming it, she came and she got to see the set. So that was a pretty cool a thing that we did on the show.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Did you have a favorite episode to film?
I think one of my favorite episodes is the mini golf episode with Spencer. That was Spencer and Alexa's first kiss. And that was also the episode that introduced Katie's mental health and anxiety. And I loved that they did such a good job kind of carrying into that part for the show. Like they talked about like the anxiety and the panic attacks so well. And I love that they created that for Katie's character. But with Spencer and Alexa, I love their story. I think I always thought that they were so cute, and Gunnar did such a great job playing Spencer. I think the mini golf is definitely my favorite.
Oh, cool. I love that episode. There are so many that have just like stuck with me, and that are I can't pick a favorite, but there are so many that like when I think of the show, like I think of those episodes.
Yeah. And I think the Christmas episode where they repaint my wall, that was another favorite. And that was actually based off of a real experience from one of our writers. So it made it even that much more meaningful. But yeah, the Christmas and mini golf are a couple of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, the Christmas episode, that is actually one of the ones I was thinking of that just has always stuck with me. I remember when I watched it with my family, and we were all just crying.
Yeah.
And because it, like, for me, I could relate to that, and like my mom going through all of it with me, like she could understand it and like in her own way relate to it. And so
right. Yeah, it was the show that made you laugh and then made you cry.
Yes. Yeah. So of all the roles you've had, is there one that's meant the most to you?
I think Alexa and Katie. Yeah. That's the one that means the most to me out of everything that I've done. And again, I don't think I will ever feel the way that I feel about Alexa and Katie. I don't think I will ever feel about a project. Because I literally did not want that show to end. I would still be doing it if I could right now. So, and I love that people still watch it. I think that's crazy because it's been done for almost, I guess like 2 or 3 years now, and people are still watching it. And that's just crazy to me.
Yeah. My sister and I actually tell her she's my Katie, and so then she, like, I call her Katie, she calls me Alexa, and so
that's very cool. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. So do you ever get anxiety like before an audition, or what do you do to calm those nerves?
I definitely get nervous before an audition. I mean, a lot of our auditions now are self-tapes, so it's kind of and that happened, starting from COVID, so it kind of removed that nervous part of it. But I definitely do have anxiety. Like I have panic attacks. I have anxiety attacks. So that's also why I loved what they did with Katie's character so much, because it was such a relatable thing for me. And I feel like a lot of people feel anxiety. So, things I do, I I try to meditate. I have an app called Insight Timer. And they'll play like a guided meditation, and some are for like healing, some are for anxiety, some are for sleeping, some are for like affirmation. So I'll play one of those, and I'll like, center myself and meditate and try to do breath work. And then another thing I do is counting. And then another one is I'll have someone like distract me. Basically, I'll just be like, ask me like a bunch of random questions just to try to like take my mind off of it. And then also working out helps. I notice that like when I run and like get my body moving, it helps me if I'm ever feeling anxious or restless or stirring or uncomfortable. So those are a couple of things that I do to help.
Cool. Yeah. I remember when they like introduced Katie's like anxiety and panic attacks into the Alexa and Katie. That was another way I could like see myself through that show, because I have definitely had like I have really bad anxiety, and so I've definitely had panic attacks before. So it meant so that's just another way that the show just meant so much to me. And so
they did, our writers and our creator did such an amazing job, because they tackled difficult topics, but they tackled it in a way that people would understand it and not be afraid of it. And they, talk about resolutions with it too. And I don't really think that there's been a show that's really done that before, especially in a sitcom format, because at first people were like, wait, it's a show about cancer and it's a sitcom? I was like, yeah, but like, it's not really about cancer. It's actually about like friendship and family and pushing through and going for what you want, and not letting things bring you down. Like that's like really what it was. Cancer was just kind of the vehicle that like moves it. But yeah, there hasn't really been a show like that, at least that I've seen before. So our writers and creator did such a great job, talking about things that people normally find it difficult or sad to talk about.
So you were just in the movie One Up, which I loved.
You did? Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
I watched it with my mom and my sister, and we all loved it.
Thank you for watching it.
And we all found it so interesting, because none of us knew that you could get an athletic scholarship for gaming. Which we thought was really cool. And so I was wondering, like, are you a gamer, or did you need to learn anything to get into character?
So I'm definitely a gamer, but not like that kind of game. I love racing games. That's really the type of games that I love to play. I love racing. I love like I had like a Pac-Man game on my GameCube before I had, the Wii, and like even Xbox. Like I never really got into Xbox because, Wii was like my last gaming system that I really loved and used every day. And so for One Up, it was, kind of that team-based game, and it was played on a computer, and all the keys mean different things. So they had to teach us how to do that, but it was also during COVID. So we couldn't meet in person. So we're all in our hotel rooms by ourselves on a Zoom meeting, and they're teaching us how to play this game over Zoom. And I'm like, I don't understand any of this. I have no idea what's going on. This is one of the hardest things that I've ever had to try to teach myself. But I was like, you know what, as long as I just look like I am playing the game, that's all I need to do. I don't really need to know how to play this game, but as long as I can sell it and act like it, I think I'll be fine. But no, it's crazy, yeah, that you people have scholarships for gaming now, and it's truly a difficult sport. Like I would legitimately call it a sport because it was so difficult to learn, and you have to be like very intelligent, and you have to have like your memorization skills and like strategy skills. So there's a lot that goes into playing video games, and I know some people are like, oh my god, it's a video game, like why? Like that's so lame or whatever. But like, no, it's not. It's actually a very difficult thing to do. So
Yeah.
but yeah, one up was a cool experience. And we shot it during COVID. So there was its challenges with it, but it ended up being a really fun thing for me to do.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So is there a show that you're currently binge watching?
So we're actually, me and my boyfriend are binge watching Law and Order. Yeah, like we started literally from season 1, and there's 23 seasons. So we are at season 5 now. But it's like that old network show. So there's so many episodes and they're super long. So that one's going to take a while, but I think we're going to start the House of Dragon show. It's the HBO spinoff or prequel of Game of Thrones. So I think we're going to start that one soon.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I started Law and Order from the 23rd season because just from the most recent season when it came back on, I decided I wanted to watch it. So yeah. And my mom and I just watched the new show Echoes on Netflix.
Echoes?
Yeah, it's like a thriller.
Okay, cool.
And it's a limited series, so there's only 7 episodes.
Okay.
And, and it's really good.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And then I'm watching the show Night Court now.
I haven't heard of that one either.
I never heard of it until they're doing a sequel. They're making a sequel to the show, and so then I started watching the original, and it's a comedy that was on in the 80s and the 80s and 90s, and it's very funny. It's about a judge.
Okay, I'll have to write these ones down because you're just giving me great suggestions left and right here. So I will write those down.
Yeah. So if you had to wake up to one song every morning, what song would it be?
Oof. One song every morning?
Yeah.
I guess it would have to be Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And so, what makes you roll your eyes every time you hear it?
Every time I hear it?
Yeah.
So you roll my eyes every time I hear it. When someone sneezes without covering their mouth, it's like one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So, what's the best lesson that you've learned either from a book, show, or movie?
Oh, the best lesson I learned from a book, show, or movie. I would have to say it would be Alexa and Katie's log line or the tagline. It's friendship is the best medicine. I think. Yeah, that one is mine.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Actually, for one, so me and my sister were twins, and for one of our birthdays, my sister got me an Alexa and Katie sweatshirt that it says Alexa and Katie, and then the line, as long as you're my best friend, you're never going through anything alone.
Yeah, that was from our first episode. That was from our pilot.
Yeah. And it's so hard for me to pick a favorite episode.
There's a lot of good ones. My boyfriend is about to be 29 years old. We started dating when he was 27, and he loved that show because we ended up watching it together because he wanted to see it. And he loved that show. And he was like, I genuinely like this show, like a lot. Like he was like laughing. He wanted to watch every single episode. It's a good show. There's a lot of good episodes, and it's really heartwarming and funny. Because even like adults would laugh, it wasn't just like a kid's show. I know so many parents and adults who were like, yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
It was one of those shows that it also felt like, because when it first came out, my sister and I were freshmen in high school, and so it was one of those shows that really, like, for me, it felt like we were like growing up with Alexa and Katie. And so that's another reason the show means so much to me. And there's just so many reasons.
Well, that's awesome. That's really, really awesome to hear.
And so my last question for you is, who do you consider to be a real life superhero and why?
My real life superhero? I would say, I'll say my boyfriend, because he is so kind and caring for everybody. And whenever I'm feeling down or feeling like I want to give up, he's always pushing me to like keep going and like go for my dream. And I think we all need somebody like that, because I think we can all fall into like a feeling of like, it's never going to work out. I'm never going to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So it's important to have somebody that's like, no, like keep going. Like you're going to do it. You're going to make it. It's going to be great. Like don't give up. So I'll say my boyfriend is mine.
I love that. Yeah. My superheroes are definitely my mom and my sister.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. I still am like, this kind of feels like an out of body experience. Like I don't think I'll be able to wrap my head around like the fact that I'm actually talking with you for a while.
You are very sweet. And I'm so sorry again that I messed up the timing. I apologize to you, Maya. I'm so sorry again. But thank you for having me on. It means a lot to me that you connected so much with Alexa and Katie, truly from the bottom of my heart. And I feel very honored to be on here with you and to talk about Alexa and Katie. I can talk about that show all the time. I don't care where or when. I will talk about that show. So thank you. for wanting me to be on your show. It means a lot.
Awesome. Paris, thanks so
Thank
much for taking the
you.
time. We really appreciate you doing this and loved having you on. It was just a lovely interview. Maya, great job. And
Thank you.
and yeah, thanks so much, Paris, and have a great day.
All right.
Thank
Thank you guys. So nice to meet you. Have a great day, Maya. Thank you
You
again.
too.